And on the 8th day, God looked down on his planned paradise and said, I need a caretaker. So God made a farmer.
Howdy folks, Darren back with you here at Cross Timbers Farm. Welcome to 8th Day Chronicles. Glad to have you with us today. If you're new to the channel, welcome. We have a growing family here at 8th Day Chronicles, and we're glad to have you as part of that family. Click that subscribe button and drop some comments. Let us know who you are, where you're from, and where you're at in your hay. We do a lot of hay videos here. Seems like lately a lot of our videos, just about all of them, is kind of centered around our hay production. Hay is our main cash crop here on our farm. We had animals here for quite a long time, since 2015, and this is 2023. This is the first year since 2015 there has not been any animals on our farm other than our livestock guardian dogs, which now they're just farm guard dogs guarding the property. So we had dairy goats before, was our last venture, and due to some health problems in our family, we had to make a tough decision to send those dairy goats to some friends of ours in another state for their dairy farm to add to their herd. So, but God's been good to us here, and regardless of what may have transpired with our health issues, it rains on the just and the unjust. We are so thankful for our little farm and for our family, and we're really glad to have you here as part of our 8th Day Chronicles family here on our channel at YouTube. If you haven't, please consider subscribing and joining our family. Part 4. This is our last installment on our test plot for hay production series. It's been some scattered. I fully realize that, but I hope everyone has gained a tidbit here, there, or yonder, something to help you with your hay production. And bear in mind also, if you're new to our channel, we are a small family farm. This is not a large-scale hay operation. Our content is not really geared to large-scale hay operations. We are all about small family farms and producing high-quality hay on a small scale. So today we're out here in our test plot, and in previous videos we've discussed your layout of your test plot. We've discussed in depth weed control, methods for weed control, and we have discussed choosing your grasses. We've chosen what will be highly productive for your area. You need to do your research. All areas of the country are not the same, far from it. Your soil conditions and your weather and elevation and things of that nature could be way different from ours. Do your research. Also, do your research. If you're bailing for your animals, that's fantastic. That's probably what the majority of small family farms do. They bail for their own livestock. We did for a long time. We have just recently, because of some health issues and our animals being liquidated and sent to friends' farms, we have turned our farm from feeding our own animals and the the income from those animals. Now our income is from our hay crop. We sell all of our hay, and because we have high quality hay, not meaning to sound braggy here, but if you produce high quality hay, really good hay for certain, and you need to identify who your customers are going to be. If your customers are mainly horse owners and you produce a high quality hay that horses prefer, the types of grasses and legumes they prefer, or it be cattle or sheep or goats, whatever the case may be, you produce a high quality hay. And some people start buying that hay. These owners go horse riding together. The sheep, goat owners get to know each other. Your name's going to start making circles. People's going to be saying, you need to go check them out. Their hay is second to none. You can do that. Our second cut for this coming year is already every single bale pre-sold. The word gets around pretty fast that you make really top shelf hay, and that should be your goal, whether it be for your animals or if you're selling. So choose your grasses wisely. Consider your region of the country and all those other things I talked about, your soil conditions, your elevation, your rainfall, annual rainfall amounts that you normally, notice I said normally, get per year, and match your forages and your hay, grasses, and legumes to your area. Because we grow orchard and timothy and tall fescue here, where you're at, those may be a no-go. You might need to look elsewhere for different grasses. So, choose wisely. A test plot will save your farm funds a lot of money when it comes to that. You can plant certain things, do different things to your test plot, and the input cost will be minimal because it's a small plot. Ours at the moment is 2/10 of an acre. That's small. This winter we're hoping to expand 2 more tenths, a little over two more, but to equal out around close to maybe a half an acre. But your test plot is small, and you can try things, and if they work, fantastic. If they don't work, then you're not out a lot of money. Or even if your results was just, you step back and look at it and go, wow, we done this and we aerated or whatever, and it really didn't help, then you've not spent much money doing that. And I just use that as an example. Our test plot is looking fantastic. We have had a really, really dry July, but we're well into August now. And so far, fingers crossed, so far into August, boy, we've been having rain, good rain, every couple of days. And we've had some nice sunshine, and we're in between some rain now. The sun's actually out for a moment, but we still got some really dark skies behind the camera. We got probably half an inch of rain this morning. The rainfall and then the sunshine of the evenings, and then a day or two later, more rain, upwards of an inch or so is what we've been getting average every couple of days. Our test plot and our main hay fields are looking absolutely fantastic. Thanks to the good Lord for the rain. So, one thing about your test plot, and you may have noticed if you follow along with our videos, when we cut and bale this test plot, our test plot is kind of in a square shaped. It's a little bit longer than it is wide, but not much. It's 2/10 of an acre. This small test plot in sort of a square shape is difficult to rake. you want to be able to harvest off your test plot. Your test plot will contain super good, high quality hay. You want to be able to harvest that hay. Mowing the hay and baling the hay I've found is really no problems. But we use an inline rake, a Grizzly 4-wheel hay rake, and when you start trying to rake this little small place into windrows, you just barely get a good windrow started and you're at the end. I would suggest, if I had this test plot to start over, I would make, instead of, if I wanted to go with a half an acre, let's say 3/10 of an acre, instead of making that test plot kind of square, I would go back and make it like a rectangle, kind of long, and even if it's more narrow, but I'd make it long. That will allow you to, when it comes time to harvest that hay, you can make nice windrows that go further in a straight line instead of just going very small and having to turn and go back and turn and go back, just having constant turning to try to windrow that hay. And when you're baling it, just constantly having to turn. If I had to do over it, that's one thing I would do. I would have made mine longer and narrower. You don't want to make your test plot too big, that defeats the purpose. You want to keep it small enough to where your input costs are minimal, but you're learning a lot. Okay. When you're starting your test plot, I do believe you want to, once you've chosen your grasses, choosing those grasses, I think you want to choose a perennial rather than an annual. If you go with an annual, your costs per year on your hay and your hay fields are going to be a lot higher. I think from a business standpoint, from a hay farmer, for your crop, a perennial makes a lot more sense. And I also believe that planting or seeding legumes in your perennial grasses, whether they be cool season, warm season, but here in our cool season grasses, I think planting legume species for a nitrogen fixer in your cool season grasses is well worth doing. I don't know if you can notice, but our test plot here is full of Ladino clover and lots of nice red clover. We have some really nice red clover going here in our test plot. Let me just step right here and I'll sacrifice one. Yeah, that one's so nice, I don't want to pull it. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful red clover. Red clover is a nitrogen fixer. And I'm not a scientist and I don't understand all this, and I don't have a PhD and none of this stuff, just the school of hard knocks. My daughter does have a degree in agriculture sciences, and I've discussed this at length with her. Legumes have rhizomes in the root system. It's a nitrogen fixer. Your cool season grasses will flourish with the presence of red clover in and around your cool season grasses. They will feed off this. Also, red clover contains a biological makeup, and I'm no scientist and I'm not going to go in depth into that. You can go to University of Kentucky website and do some reading, and even their YouTube channel at Warren County Extension. Red clover has a biological makeup that will neutralize the endophytes in tall fescue, if you have endophyte tall fescue. I don't know what the ratio of that is, but they have proven that red clover mixed in with your tall fescue will neutralize the endophytes. Good stuff, very good stuff. Horse owners, this will make horses sometimes slobber. It's foamy, it'll make them slobber, but it has it's only the slobbering is only a visual thing. It has horses love it. The slobbering is not a result of any kind of a toxicity or anything like that. Very high nutrient value. Some people just don't like to see their horses slobbering. And maybe I wouldn't either, but my daughter had quarter horses here, and I noticed they would slobber some when eating a lot of clover, but it had no ill effect on them. Matter of fact, it really packed the weight on them. You had to watch them, not let them eat too much of it. They'd just get so fat they didn't want to do anything. They didn't want to go for a ride. Also, in your test plot, in your grasses, and your legumes, be mindful of shade. You don't want to plant forages that your grasses and your other legumes are going to just shade out. Be mindful of those grasses, what temperature ranges they're tolerant of, what water requirements they have. If you're in a really arid, dry area, you don't want to plant grasses that require a lot of moisture. There's some studying you need to do when you're planting the grasses in your test plot. And once again, an invaluable, absolutely invaluable book. And for the credits, this is an invaluable resource if you're a quality hay producer. And if you can sit and you know all this stuff by heart, good for you. Some of us that did not grow up cutting hay and growing high quality hay, we have to learn. I've said many times there's a difference between being ignorant and stupid. Ignorant means you just don't know no better. And if you are ignorant about something, you need to start educating yourself. Not insinuating anybody out there is ignorant about hay, but I was when I started, along with a lot of other resources. This is one of my major ones. Excellent book. So, I hope you've got your hay test plot established and going. We're going to walk out into our hay field that we're reclaiming. Reclaiming that hay field will go hand in hand a lot with your test plot. Let's go take a look at that to close out this series. We're out here now in our pasture, that field that we are reclaiming for high quality hay. We did a video on this reclaimed hay field, the starting of it. Well, we actually started on a couple years ago, but we done a video on mowing or bush hogging this hay field a couple weeks ago. Feel free to go back and look for that. Reclaiming a hay field. This hay hadn't had hay taken off of it in several years, and it had kind of had some animals on it, and it had been kind of neglected as far as hay goes. A lot of weeds moved in, and we're working pretty hard for over a year now to reclaim this hay field. And our progress is showing some promise. We did do a 2,4-D application back here about 2 weeks ago, and it's looking so-so. The common blue violet, it has done some good on, but not total. I think it's going to need a second application. Some of it is laid over and wilding, and some's not, so mixed results. But this reclaimed hay field will go right along with your test plot, starting your test plot and the work involved in it. It's an excellent way for you to learn if you were like me and you didn't grow up doing this and you're learning. As I said earlier, you can be ignorant about it, but you can also educate yourself and no longer be ignorant about it. Yes, you'll make mistakes along the way. And that's what this test plot is for. When you make those mistakes, they're not catastrophic because they're not involving your entire hay operation. They're involving a very small section that those inputs didn't cost you a lot out of your farm budget, and you can take what works into your larger hay fields like we're doing this reclaimed one, and what doesn't work doesn't break the bank, so to speak. And you stand back and scratch your head and say, wow, we done a lot of work there, spent quite a bit of money for very little results. The test plot for that's invaluable, and it's been invaluable for me learning. And Oakley over here, our farm dog's nodding her head, yeah. What I was talking about with the 2,4-D. Here's some, I've been over just a moment. All right, I picked these from the bottom. You can see how they're wilted over. It's only had so-so effect, but we're going to continue to work on it, and I strongly encourage you to consider a test plot on your small family farm. It's been invaluable to us. It's really helped us, and we hope you've enjoyed the series, and you'll have to pardon the little black gnats are everywhere out here. It's like a broken record. I'm swatting it, gnats. It seems like this summer all the time on every video. Apologies. I hope you've gained some little tidbits of information. It's helped you along the way. Strongly encourage you to start you a test plot. It's been a really big benefit to us, and it's helped us to produce high quality hay. And we are expanding here in this reclaimed hay field. Our hay business this year has been so good that we're needing to expand, and hopefully to go even further than this. People's loving the little mini round bales. Once you take those bales and show someone how to make a feeder for those things, and we've got some videos on hay feeders for mini round bales, very little waste, and they can handle those things, and how well they stack, people that start using them just love them. It's just a matter of introducing those to some people. But if your hay is mediocre at best or lower quality, I don't care what you got it baled in. You can bale it in star shapes or something, plumb novel. And if people's horses or goats or cattle or sheep take a bite of that stuff and walk away, all that work and buying that equipment stuff done you no good, really. So make it worth your while. Bale the highest quality hay you can, and it'll pay off. Okay, so thanks for being with us here for our final video of our series on the test plot. If you have any questions, please drop us a comment. We'd love to converse with you. Drop us a picture of your test plot if you're so inclined. We'd love to see it. Thanks for being with us here on the farm today. God bless you and your family, and hope you have a great day.